Hey, you know what it is? It's episode 10. Can you believe we're in 10 episodes? We've done 10 episodes. We have already completed 10 episodes. And some of you are still in quarantine. Feels like this is going on forever. But don't worry, we still got a lot of things in store for you. Not only do we have it going on Sunday morning at 2 o'clock, but we have something brand new starting June 3rd on Wednesday night at 6 o'clock. Nope, it's not Awana. Virtual Awana is over in just a week. It is Cadets for Christ. Check it out.
Oh, that's great, sir! A new office? That's amazing! And a raise? Oh, I can't believe you're doing all that for me. Really, sir, it was the kids that made it happen. I'm telling you right now, these kids have been sending all kinds of great things into me. Oh, yeah, by email. It's been great. Yes. Thank you, sir. Oh, there. Oh, man. Oh, you're probably wondering what just happened. I'm getting a raise. And not only that, I just found out that I also am getting a new office, all because of you kids. Yes, my boss is so happy because you've been sending in all kinds of emails, and that has made him really, really happy for our show to be successful. And speaking of emails, let me go over here and see who sent in an email this time. Yes, this one's really good. It's from Andrew. Andrew asked the question, what do you do on a rainy day? Oh, well, Andrew, I've got something very important to tell you. I can't get wet. That's right. I can't get wet at all. If I get wet, then my color changes. I change to green, and I get real mean. And then I start eating a lot of stuff that, well, it's not good at all. So I just stay inside and look out the window and play games inside because I can't get wet. That's what I do. Just stay inside. Not a lot of fun. Oh, wow. This is a very serious question from Lacey. She's in Florida, and she asked, are you still a Christian when you have bad thoughts? Oh, Lacey, if you're a Christian, you'll always be a Christian because you are a child of God. And the fact is, we all make mistakes, and we all can have bad thoughts. That's just because we're human. Just because you're a Christian doesn't mean you're not human anymore. I'm not human, I'm an alien. But as humans, you'll make mistakes. And you'll do things, and you'll even say things, and you'll think things that you shouldn't think. But because you're a Christian, you'll feel really bad because the Holy Spirit lives here in your heart. And then you'll ask Jesus to forgive you. And you just get up and you do better. Because you're a Christian, you'll want to do better. But you don't stop being a Christian because you're a child of God. And when you're a child of God, you can't stop being a child of God. And even if you mess up as a kid, your parents can't go to you and say, hey, you're no longer my kid, Lacey, because you messed up. Nope, you're their kid. Even if you do mess up. And you're God's child when you mess up. And He loves you. He just wants you to get up and do better. Good question, Lacey. Come on over here and see. Okay. Who's my favorite person in all the world? Oh, Daniel asked that question. Daniel, my favorite person in all the world is Pastor Dave. Imagine that. Because he's smart, and he is a lot of fun, and he's super strong, and he invited me to go to Vacation Bible School, and I had a lot of fun just about a year ago, and so I guess you could say he's my favorite. But anyway, I need to go, and I am expecting a lot more emails from you, and hopefully, I will get my new office. But until then, we'll see you soon, kiddos. Bye.
Hey, welcome to FBC Kids Virtual Worship. This is episode 10. Can you believe we're on episode 10? Well, we are studying a very important character in the Bible by the name of Solomon. His dad's name was David, King David. And King David had some time he spent with Solomon explaining the responsibility it would be upon him when he became the king. Solomon was so nervous and scared. And last time we were together in episode 9, we learned that Solomon went before God numerous times in prayer, in which the Bible called sacrifices, and was seeking God and wanted God's direction. Now, we learned that one night, last time we were together, episode 9, that Solomon had a dream. He met with God, and God gave him a wish. He granted Solomon a wish, and Solomon could make any wish he wanted. Do you remember what the wish was? Solomon wished for wisdom, good judgment. There's a difference between wisdom and knowledge. The difference is this: you can have knowledge and fill your brain with all kinds of wonderful things from books. For a matter of fact, we're sitting in a library right now, and there's all kinds of knowledge all around us. Lots and lots and lots of books. And in those books, you can learn everything from science to biology to math to history, and that's great. But knowledge is different than wisdom. And the wisdom that Solomon asked for was the ability to have good judgment and understanding how to lead the people of Israel. He wanted to be a good king. So God said, I'm going to give it to you. And God gave him a lot of other wonderful things too, because Solomon wasn't consumed with himself and asking for riches and power and special abilities or anything crazy like that. He just simply wanted to be a good king. So God gave him the ability to have wisdom, godly wisdom. And that's very important to understand. So the key word today in this episode is wisdom, and how David had great wisdom, but Solomon had wisdom that no other man ever had. The Bible actually says Solomon was the only one in history and in the future that will ever have that amount of wisdom. Nobody will be as wise as Solomon. And so, let's talk about it. Let's talk about godly wisdom and how Solomon not only had the wisdom to lead and be a great king, but he taught his people how to have wisdom. And the same teaching he gave to his people, he gave to his own son, and he gave to us, because he gave us a couple of books in the Bible that he wrote so we could learn about wisdom. One of the books was Proverbs. Some scholars believe he even wrote Ecclesiastes. That's debatable. But we also know he wrote Song of Solomon. That is a very important book in the Bible, because it teaches us wisdom on when it comes to love and compassion toward others, especially to those that the person you're married to. One day you'll learn about that, but that doesn't matter right now. What matters is what he said in the book of Proverbs. So are you ready? This is going to be so cool. You're going to love it. I promise you will enjoy it. So let's look at it together right now. This is Benjamin Franklin. If you remember in history, he was very important to us because he's one of our most important forefathers. Benjamin Franklin actually helped draft the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence. Now, the thing about Benjamin Franklin is, you see here the word wisdom. He was intelligent, he was smart, and maybe he had some wisdom. I don't know, I never met the guy, but I do know this. There's a distinct difference between head knowledge, which he had because he was also a scientist and an inventor, and the ability to have godly wisdom. Now, check this guy out over here. This is George Washington. He's our first president of the United States of America. He would guide the country with so much intelligence, and he was fearless, and he was an incredible leader. But it is known throughout history that there's been very few presidents that had what we call wisdom like this man, because this man had godly wisdom. He made it a point to pray and seek God's face. So he not only had head knowledge and had great intelligence and wisdom, but he had godly wisdom. Now, this guy over here, I have no clue who he is. I don't know. There's so many people that we've learned about in school that surround me right now in these books, and they have so much intelligence and they have so much knowledge. But again, the key word today is wisdom. In this episode, we're talking about wisdom and how Solomon had godly wisdom. And he gave that wisdom not only to his people because he was the king, but he also spoke to it to his son. He spoke into his son and said, these are very important things for you to know. So let me read to you what he says. I'm in Proverbs, and I'm in chapter 2. He said, my son, if thou wilt receive my words and hide my commandments with thee, so that thou incline thy ear unto wisdom, and apply thy heart unto understanding. It's very important to understand you're not just using wisdom with the brain, but it's with the heart. We accept Jesus Christ in our life with our heart. We follow Jesus Christ with our heart. And so in order to have true godly wisdom, you need to use your heart. And so he told his son to apply wisdom to your heart. Now, what does the word wisdom mean? Wisdom means to fear God. Does fear mean to be scared of God? No. Fear in this verse, when the Bible says the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, means honor. We are to honor God, respect God, and not only do that, follow him. Because you really don't truly honor and respect somebody unless you're willing to listen to that person. Like your mom and dad. You say, I love my mom and dad. But if you don't follow what they say and do what they say and respect them and honor them, then I wonder how much you truly care about them. Same goes with God. If we want to have godly wisdom, then we need to fear God, which means honor God and follow God in his commandments. In other words, what his Bible says, the word of God says. And so that's what Solomon told his boy, his son. He said, listen, if you want to have wisdom, you need to apply it to your heart and mean it with all your heart. Then listen what he says. If thou seekest her, wisdom, he called it her. If thou seekest wisdom as silver and searchest for her as a hidden treasure, then thou shalt understand the fear of the Lord, which means the honor and the reverence we're to give to the Lord, and find knowledge of God. So in other words, if you really want wisdom, then you need to go for it. You need to seek after it like you would a treasure. Hunt for it. And when you find it and you really mean it and you really want it, then you will apply it to your heart and you will honor God, because that is true wisdom. So now that we understand what wisdom is, and we understand how important it is to seek for it, to look for it, to go after it like you would look for a treasure and want it really bad. There's not been a pirate in history that was searching for treasure that wasn't anxious to find it. They were excited. If you found a treasure map, you would be so excited to find that treasure. And Solomon says to his son, you need to seek after wisdom the same way, like it's a treasure. You need to seek to honor and fear God, because when you do that, you will find God's wisdom, and then you can apply it to your heart, and then you'll have the ability to have good judgment. You'll know how to make really good decisions, not the way you would want to do it, but the way God would have you to do it. And then life gets real easy because you have wisdom. Remember, the key word here is wisdom. So now that you understand what wisdom is, let's learn how to have wisdom in our life, okay? Check this out. All right, now that we understand what wisdom is, let's learn how we can get wisdom in our life. So we already know wisdom means to fear God, and fear means to honor God, respect God. And when we fear and respect God, then we can apply God's truth, which means we want to do what he says. Listen to the Bible, and then put it in our lives and practice it. When we do that, then we'll start learning how to have wisdom in our life. But this is very important, what Solomon says next to his son. He says in chapter 3 in verse 5, trust in the Lord with all your heart, lean not unto your own understanding, in all of thy ways acknowledge him, and he will direct thy path. Then he said in verse 7, ready? Be not wise in thy own eyes, fear the Lord and depart from evil. So now we know what wisdom is, but now we need to know how to apply wisdom. That means practice it. You have to understand it's not what you think that matters, it's what God says that matters. And then you have to understand that you are not wise enough to make the right decisions in life. Your wisdom is not good enough because your wisdom is only what your brain thinks. And he said to his son, trust in the Lord with your heart, lean not unto your own understanding. In everything you do, acknowledge God and let him direct your path. And then he says, don't be wise in your own eyes, fear God, honor God, and then when you do that, make sure you're staying away from evil. So if you want to practice wisdom and be a wise child or a wise adult or a wise person, then you not only have to reverence, respect, and fear God, but you need to stay away from the things that are sinful, the things that will pull you down, will mess up your brain, and you need to think the way God thinks and not the way you think things should be done. When you do that, everything changes. You'll be able to make decisions in the right way. You'll be able to go through life in the right direction, and you won't mess up yourself, because we're the ones that mess up life, because we make bad decisions and go in the wrong direction and may listen to the wrong people, but that's not wise. Wisdom comes when you put God first, you go his direction, you put your thoughts aside and focus on what God thinks. So we're going to go to a guy by the name of Professor Wise. And Professor Wise can give us a little bit more input on making wise decisions. And he has a special way of doing that. So listen to Professor Wise and see what he has to say.
Oh, hello, I'm Professor Wise. I've just completed this 10,000-page book, but that doesn't matter, does it? I would like to give you a test of wisdom. This young man here decided to take his bike across the creek. The question, though, is, will he pass or will he crash? I don't know. I do know I can give you some clues to help you better understand what choice you must make, pass or crash. First thing I'll give you is the fact that his father warned him that it was not a good idea. Second, I'd like to tell you that he did not clearly look at the circumstances around him, considering the fact that it was a rushing creek and much mud. Third thing that I'd like to tell you is that this young man was cheered on by a very young novice. In other words, somebody that has no clue at all was telling him what to do. And so he listened. Now the question is, did he make a wise decision, a wise choice? And did he pass or crash? Now let's find out if you make a wise decision by voting. If you believe he passed, then text the number below and give us your name and say he passed. If he crashed, then text the number below with your name and say he crashed. But with this information that you've been given, surely you can better understand the wisdom that he needed to pass through the creek. You can analyze, you can study this out, and determine in your own free way of thinking whether he passed or crashed. Let us know your choice. Vote now and let us know. This is Professor Wise. Good day.
Hurry up, going down the hill. Tristan's gonna run down that little hill into the stream and cross it.
Let's see if he can do it or if he fails.
I love this subject, wisdom. It's the key word today. I love learning about how we can be more like God. And when you are, and you learn how to have godly wisdom in your life, the Bible says in Proverbs chapter 3, what happens? Happy is the man that findeth wisdom. You can be happy when you get godly wisdom in your life. And when you find wisdom, it also says this, it's more precious than rubies and all the things that you could ever desire. Do you want wisdom? I hope you do. All you have to do is fear God, honor Him, get the evil and the sin out of your life, put Him first in what He says, and you'll be happy that you did it. That's wisdom, and that's what we learned from Solomon. It's time for boys versus girls. Check this out. You're going to like it. All right, this is boys versus girls. We got Kyle, we got Iris. Let me tell you who these folks are. So Kyle has been working with me for a very, very long time with all the different projects we do with our FBC kids. He does, well, he oversees staging when it comes to Vacation Bible School. He's so humble. Look how humble he is. And also he oversees all the staging when it comes to our big Easter drama. And this is his lovely wife. They're expecting a little one very, very, very soon. So she's playing for two ladies versus one guy. And actually, is it a girl or a boy? I can't remember. It's a girl, and I should remember because I guessed it would be a girl. It's a girl. So, Iris already knows this game. Kyle pretty much knows this game because Iris helps Kyle, pretty much runs the show when it comes to staging and Vacation Bible School stuff because she's my right-hand man / lady when it comes to everything with Vacation Bible School. She's done a really good job, so she knows how this game works because we've done this game. If you don't know what the game is, it's called Basket Head. This is a knockoff version of Basket Case. This is the cheaper version. So if you want to pay a lot of money, go to Cracker Barrel. If you want to get it for cheap, go to Amazon and you'll get Basket Head instead of Basket Case. But the game is simple, all right? You guys ready? All right, so all you do is take the basketball hoop strap to your head. You might have to un-Velcro it. I don't know if it fits or not. And they are given 23 balls. Now, it doesn't come with that many, but we're giving them 23 balls. Red, white. Kyle gets the red. Iris gets the white. All they want to do, Kyle, you need some help there?
No, I guess.
All right. So you look good. Now, I'm going to tell you, the key to this game is make sure it's tilted to the front as much as possible. And that way, you know, when you lean forward, it's, well, you'll figure it out. You just have to know your own routine. You look good. You look really good. Can you try? All right. Iris, you ready? All right. Is it on there good? All right. Well, we got a problem here. The energy is not in the room because Iris is with child and Kyle just got off of work, so they're both really tired. So we're hoping they'll get amped up as we do the game. Are you guys ready? Are you ready? All right. All right. You just lost that ball, sir. All right, you ready? All you have to do is step up to the table, get a little closer. Actually, you're gonna keep the ball on the basket on the table, all right? Don't cheat, Iris. Oh, because the belly, she says she has to be further away because we'll make an exception, you know? We had Dave Everly on here and he had to get further away too because of his belly. Dave, I'm sure you're watching this. By the way, Dave is one of our FBC Kids directors and glad he's not here to yell at me right now. All right, I'm gonna count down. 3, 2, 1. It's not necessarily to go the fastest, it's just to have the most in the basket. All right, so don't feel pressure. 3, 2, 1, go.
What? I thought it was
No, your own basket. Iris says you're used to it when we play it during Vacation Bible School because we have 2 on the team. One throws and the other one catches in the basket. Sorry, Iris, this is only you. You and the little lady that's here in your belly is going to play this game all on your own, okay? All right, let's try this again. Kyle, thank you for listening. I appreciate that. I should give points for the guys. All right, here we go. Retake. 3, 2, 1, go. There you go. You just got to catch it in the basket. 1 for the guys, 2 for the guys. Ladies are struggling here. Oh my! You got to pick them up. We got to pick them up. How do you do that? Oh, Kyle is killing it too. Iris is too busy picking them up off the floor. We're up to 4. We're up to 4 with the guys. 4, you're just a little bit off. Iris is still busy picking them off the floor. Kyle is up to, it looks like still 5. He's up to 5. He's up to 6. Iris is back up here. Iris, I'll help you up with a few of these because you're in desperate need here. Did you get her? Oh, there's another one. Iris has 1. Iris still only has 2. She has 2. Iris has, so close with 3. 3. Kyle is killing it. I don't even know how many Kyle has. Iris has 4. Iris is almost at 5. Almost, she's a little too far. 5 for Iris. Another one for Kyle. I don't think I've seen anybody get that many. Kyle's picking them off the floor. Iris, you might have to get them off the floor. Very good, very close. Iris, you might catch up. It's okay if you don't, but you can't pick them off the floor anymore after this. We're gonna let you because, you know, obviously he was cheating. Picking them off the floor, let's just... I was trying to give her more time. Oh, he was giving her more time. What a kind guy. At the same time, filling up the basket. All right, Iris, how many more you got left? 4. Go for it. 1, miss. 2, you got it. Oh, so close. And you missed that one. All right, let's count how many we have. Iris, you just were not having a good one. You dropped them, you started off wrong, and then you dropped them. And then Kyle tries to show mercy and picks them off the floor, but all he was doing is getting more for himself. How many? 13. We got 13. How many? 9. 9. You know what, though? That's pretty good. That's not... Considering dropping them, that's pretty good. Yeah, I mean, considering you had to stop, pick them all back up, and then start over again. And you started off wrong, but that's okay. Guys, win. She's pregnant. Yes, we'll give it to you. We'll show mercy because you're pregnant, he said. But Kyle, your hubby is 1.
Ahoj, jak se máte? Jmenuji se Tate Kennedy, já jsem missionář v České republice. Hey, how's it going? My name's Tate Kennedy and I'm a missionary here in the Czech Republic. I'm married to Nicole Kennedy. We have 4 amazing kids, Lily, Ryder, Bree, and Maisie. And we just wanted to come to you today, tell you a little bit about who we are, what we do here in the Czech Republic, and a few ways that you could be praying for our family and the people here in order that we are able to tell more and more people about who Jesus is. We're the Kennedy family, missionaries in the Czech Republic. The Czech Republic is the 3rd least religious country in the world behind China and Japan, which means that only 1% out of all of the people here in the Czech Republic believe Jesus is who he says he is. So that's why we're here. That's why your church has sent us here to the Czech Republic in order to tell people here in the Czech Republic about Jesus and about who he is and about what he means to all of us. And so that's what we're doing. We're here in a city called Buštěhrad, and we are planting a church here for kids just like you. There are kids all over the city who are just like you, who do not know who Jesus is, what he's about. They don't have a relationship with God. And so why we are here is in order to tell them who Jesus is. And so that's what we're doing. So if you could be praying for all of the people here in Buštěhrad, in the Czech Republic, all of the kids here who are just like you, who don't have a church home, who do not know who Jesus is, who don't have a relationship with God, if you could be praying for them that they would come to know Jesus is who he says he is. Another thing you could be praying for is our family. We're in the process of still learning the language. The Czech language is a very hard language, but it's fun, and we're learning it. My kids are learning it. So if you could pray that we would be able to learn the language and that we would be able to communicate in Czech with the people here. And I wanted to teach you all a few Czech words. One of my favorite phrases that you can say to your friends here in the Czech Republic is this: Ahoj, jak se máš? And you can only say that to your friends, so y'all practice saying Ahoj, jak se máš. I'll put it up here on the screen. Ahoj, jak se máš. And you can practice. It literally means, hey, how's it going? And so practice saying that to your friends, learn a little bit of Czech, and be praying for our family, be praying for the Czech Republic. We love you guys. Thank you so much for everything you do for our family, and we can't wait to see you guys soon there in Ohio or maybe here in the Czech Republic. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
I'm a Sunday school teacher here at FBC, and I miss you. Keep watching. Do a great job. We're going to see you soon.